Jen and Jamie on a Thursday.
Everybody, welcome to another edition of What's in the Lunchbox. So last week, if you recall, we had
blue paper, hand-drawn paper, blue paper. We were doing great.
Our resources are showing poorly. So last week,
not this part.
In the lunchbox, we had gutter, but we talked about downspout the week before because obviously that was also in somebody's garage. But this week, yes, we are talking about that gutter thing. So if you recall, when we talked about the spout, the downspout, it was pouring out, right? Because that's where everything is funneled to and then comes rushing out the bottom. Well, right before that downspout we saw in that picture was a gutter. A gutter is something that keeps everything like this, right? It keeps it directed, it keeps it moving forward, it keeps it collected in this area instead of just wild out and about all over the place. We have several references in life to gutter,
not
right?
In the Bible.
Yeah, not in the Bible. In life to gutter, so we can kind of think about this more. We have those types of gutter. But then we also have the gutter on the streets that we live. You said that's the first time you heard it was when you moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah, we always just called it the curb line, but yeah, well, it's the curb and it's a line. But yeah, gutter, I mean, it makes sense. Like, you know, the water on the street all goes towards the curb line, the gutter. And then the water then rolls down to the sewers.
Yep, or you have to rake your leaves out to the gutter so that they can be collected. Or in bowling, you have a gutter. Gutter in bowling is bad, though. It's not as helpful as the gutters on your house or on the curb.
But it does take your ball nicely down so that you can have another turn.
I was going to say, or you can have a big zero, because if your ball's in the gutter, you're not hitting anything.
Nope. So. But your ball's staying right there.
Yeah,
it's
right
not
there.
coming back out.
Straight line all the way down.
Heading right down to the return.
Yeah. So lots of instances that we can think of and picture gutter in our heads. However, gutter directly like this is not in the Bible. But we're going to talk about gutter in a metaphorical way, though.
So for today, we busted out the Book of Concord.
Ooh, you have the red edition. I have
You're welcome.
the LSU edition? Whatever the maroon cover one was.
Yeah, I got this one in college.
I did too, but I don't. We went to different colleges as well.
Maybe,
so
maybe. So the Book of Concord is one of the teachings, one of the main readings of the Lutheran Church. So anybody that is a called worker of the Lutheran Church at some point in time has had to crack this bad boy open and read it and study it and learn it, because it is filled with all the teachings.
Read, mark, and inwardly digest.
Oh, and mine is marked because evidently at some point in time I got to use it on a test, and so I have notes of know this and do this and all that good stuff. But yes, Book of Concord, all the teachings of the Lutheran Church. And if you flip back to page 479, it says this: the law has been given to men for 3 reasons: to maintain external discipline against unruly and disobedient men; 2, to lead men to a knowledge of their sin; 3, after they are reborn, and although the flesh still inheres in them, to give them on that account a definite rule according to which they should pattern and regulate their entire life.
That's as crystal clear as mud.
And so, like good Lutherans we said,
well,
what does this mean?
Yeah, because yes, you can read that, but if you're going to teach a bunch of confirmation-aged kids those words, you're going to use words instead like gutter or curb, mirror, and ruler to explain those concepts that you just learned about.
We have 3 uses of the law that God has given to his people. And the law serves these 3 purposes: 1, to serve as a gutter; 2, or a curb; 2, to serve as a mirror; and 3, to serve as a ruler.
Yeah.
So much easier to understand.
It is.
Tapper,
so if you think back to how we described a gutter at the beginning of this lesson, a gutter is something that's used to keep you this way, right? Keep order, keep everything flowing this way in one direction for the good of everything, right? That's how the law works as a curb or a gutter. Otherwise, we'd have mass chaos. There'd be things everywhere. We wouldn't have a very orderly life at all. And so you wouldn't have things as speed limits, because people could just drive however comfortably fast they want to drive, or slow. Whereas we have speed limits because for the greater good, that's a safe speed for that area that you are driving in. You have different laws. You have all of those things because it is deemed safe for those in society.
Mm-hmm. And just like society sets up rules and laws for us to live safely, God has done the same thing. So he gave us laws like do not murder, do not steal. These laws help keep society on the straight and narrow, in the gutter, so that way things run smoothly, go smoothly. Other two uses of the law is a mirror. He shows us our sin. The law shows us how we have sinned so that we can see our need for a Savior. And then the third use of the law is as a ruler, so that you know how to live your life. The law points out this is what a godly person looks like. But the curb, the guide, the gutter, keeps us all in line, keeps everything moving the way it's supposed to.
Which is a good thing, because otherwise you have backed up gutters and then
You don't want that.
issues. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us on this series of What's in the Lunchbox. Let's see what's in the lunchbox for next week, right?
What's in the lunchbox?
Next time is
Nothing. That's why I just thanked you for joining us on this edition of What's in the Lunchbox, because next week is Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for you, Lunchians. We are thankful for the time we get to spend with you.
So instead of us coming to you on your Thanksgiving Day, we are going to take a break and let you enjoy that time with your family and friends. List all the things that you are thankful for, the many blessings that God grants us. You will all be on one of our lists because we are very thankful for you. But then, the week after, we start the season of Advent, believe it or not.
So
Thanksgiving, and then that very next week is Advent. So we will be bringing you a whole new series because it's Advent time, which means devotion time, preparing our hearts for the coming of our Savior. So tune in and see what Advent season and sessions we'll be doing with you this year. So from Jen and Jamie,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next time.
Jen and Jamie on a Thursday.